While it appears that many are fleeing that sinking ship of the Liberal Party under Justin Trudeau, some have found opportunity in this whole situation. Now, the Liberal Party is no stranger to posting their L's on social media. I'm not sure if they're even aware how this comes across, perhaps to people that aren't in the support of the party, but this is not a parody account. This is them. They actually put this out there. Jagmeet Singh never, ever takes Pierre Poilievre's advice, except when he does. Only liberals will deliver progress over politics, they say.
My message to sellout Singh is this: break the costly coalition with Trudeau.
Several days later.
Yesterday, I notified the Prime Minister that I have ripped up the supply and confidence agreement.
Okay, I gotta cut that for the copyright. But yeah, of course, Pierre Poilievre has been calling for this for a very long time. It wasn't just recent. But yes, the NDP have dropped their coalition with the Liberal government. It's the not really a coalition. It was the supply and confidence agreement. Supply of confidence to make sure that the NDP would not vote non-confidence in any confidence votes, which would trigger an election. Now, of course, Trudeau has been clamoring to justify this one with the media. I love this. This is Justin Trudeau's ego. This is actually a parody account on Twitter. When asked if I'd listened to Canadians who want an election, I immediately began gaslighting. As usual, I told them what they should care about. Watch as I ramble incoherently, reciting Liberal talking points while completely ignoring the pleas of the Canadian electorate.
We're focused on delivering for Canadians. A big announcement on school foods. We got more work to do in creating $10 a day childcare spaces across the country, moving forward on insulin, pharmacare. These are things that matter for Canadians. We're going to stay focused on those. Hopefully the NDP will continue to try and deliver for Canadians. Right now they're focused on politics. We're focused on Canadians.
The Prime Minister there saying his focus, in case you hadn't heard, 16 times.
In case you hadn't heard 16 times, yeah. His focus is on, staying in power at the end of the day. Canadians are focused on getting him out because they largely terrified of him being in further because of the damage to the economy that's happened because of him, balancing the budgets, or, allowing the budgets to balance themselves, as we've heard so many times. But now he's found a new partner to stay in power. Yeah, that's right. And the Bloc Québécois is ready to extract gains for Quebec in exchange for supporting the Liberals. They're holding on to power, and yeah, that's right. The Bloc Québécois is happy to oblige in this case. The Bloc Québécois says it's ready to wheel and deal with the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's party for support during confidence votes. That now that the Liberal government's confidence and supply agreement with the NDP has ended. Has it really ended? Or is Jagmeet Singh going to vote against the Liberals? I don't know. I seriously doubt that. Of course, here he is talking about ripping up that supply and confidence agreement again. While Pierre Poilievre's Conservatives have promised multiple confidence votes in the hope of triggering an election, the Bloc's strategy is not to rush into one, and instead use their newfound standing to make what they consider to be gains for Quebec. That's right, they're going to hold Canada hostage for maybe a couple of little trinkets out of the Liberal Party. Govt.exe is corrupt, posting this one. Watch, after calling the Liberal NDP government a false majority, Bloc Quebec leader YF Blanchette says he'll now prop up the Liberals if they meet his demands after Jagmeet Singh broke the confidence agreement and divorced Trudeau last week. This is why Canadians hate Quebec so much.
The numbers don't work for Singh and Poilievre. They don't have enough seats in the House of Commons to take the Trudeau government down on their own. The Bloc Québécois is now the key to determining whether there's an early election or not. Jagmeet Singh appearing on BC One today, explaining the rationale behind his decision to tear up the agreement. And he says they've been thinking about it for a while.
Well, it's something we've been thinking about for a while. We've accomplished a lot of things. We got the dental care It's out. It's working. Millions of people are getting access to it. Legislation to protect workers, legislation on pharmacare. So we've got things done, but it became clear that people needed more. And one of the major hurdles we had is that Justin Trudeau and the Liberals were too weak and too beholden to corporate interests to take on the corporate greed that is driving up the cost of groceries and the cost of housing. And that made it clear to us that we can no longer continue.
And if systematically this would-be majority government goes against Quebec interests, Quebec will increase the speed of its reflection about its own future. Anybody who is not in agreement with Mr. Trudeau is qualified as being toxic. We are in a democracy, and we are not forced to believe what he believes, to do what he commands, and to agree with whatever he says or does. This is the way democracy works, and this is what we are supposed to be defending somewhere else.
First thing about democracy is perhaps having democratic elections. That's what we've been waiting for, and we are being held hostage on this one. The food professor, has said on Twitter, you thought a Liberal NDP government was challenging. A Liberal Bloc alliance would present even greater risks for our nation's unity and governance. Of course, yeah, there's a lot of contention with Quebec. There has been historically in Canada. What do you think this is going to do to that? Kirk Lubimov saying a glorified provincial party is going to hold the rest of Canada hostage to Justin Trudeau's Liberals so they can get some peanuts out of them. What a ridiculous state of affairs. The Liberals will roll out the red carpet to the Bloc as usual. Somehow, I have a feeling it will cost Albertans as usual, and there is nothing anyone here is willing to do anything about it. That's where we're at. And also, well, the Liberals are looking for support, and they're looking for more ideas on how to move forward. So they're turning to the former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney to join the Liberal Party as a special advisor. That's right. This is news that's just come out. This has been speculated for so long, and it's been denied. Oh, no, actually, he's joining us. In an official press release on Monday, the party says Carney will serve as the chair of a leaders task force on economic growth. Yeah, the guy that's been profiting so much from the economic downturns all over the world is coming here to help us with our economic growth. As chair of the Leaders Task Force on Economic Growth, Mark's unique ideas and perspectives will play a vital role in shaping the next steps in our plan to continue to grow our economy, and strengthen the middle class and and urgently size new opportunities for Canadian jobs and prosperity in a fast-changing world. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said in a statement. Oh boy, oh boy. Who is this Mark Carney guy? Well, here's Andrew Scheer to tell us a little bit about that.
It looks like Mark Carney is going to be appointed as a special advisor to the Liberal leader. I wonder what you think of that particular idea.
I believe that is just a smoke and mirrors gimmick. At the end of the day, Mark Carbon Tax Carney loves the same policies that Justin Trudeau has imposed on Canadians. They're basically the same people. Out-of-touch elites that believe that they know better than hardworking Canadians. They believe they know better how to spend your money, the hardworking paychecks that Canadians earn every week. They believe that the carbon tax should be increased. They believe that that criminals should be given preference over law-abiding and honest Canadians. They are basically the same person, and the results won't change in the next. The results for Canadians will not change.
But Carney, it looks like
we'll see a lot more of what Justin Trudeau has brought if Mark Carney gets in. So Christopher Freeland saying, thrilled to welcome my long time respected friend Mark Carney to the Liberal team. His experience will build on that of our future economic team as we deliver a more affordable and innovative economy for all Canadians. Mr. Lantsman saying, who's going to tell her? Of course, Mark Carney's coming in to replace Chrystia Freeland in that capacity of, I mean, that's been the writing on the wall for some time. Marty Up North saying, if you're wondering who Mark Carney is and why he's agreed to come work for Trudeau, Mark Carney hasn't worked in Canada for over a decade. He's the United Nations Special Envoy for Climate Action. He leads Brookfield Assessment Management, environmental, social, and governance efforts. He's the CEO chair, or the co-chair of the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero. He's been to more WEF, World Economic Forum conferences as a speaker than any Canadian MPs. He has profited more from the climate scam than any other Canadian, except maybe Climate Barbie. Some say his long-term goal is to become Trudeau's replacement as PM. If he got in as PM, he'd make Guilbeault look like an amateur when it comes to pushing failed ideology. Don't be fooled, folks. He's another self-serving liberal out to make himself rich. Like Trudeau, he doesn't give care about everyday Canadians. No, he does not. And you know what you'll see more of? You'll see more of the same liberal policies that brought us things like this. As liberals meeting in Nanaimo, I dare them to look around at the province and see the carnage that the their NDP partners have caused. Not worth the cost. Now, this is an interesting one. I especially like to look at this because they talk about the environment. The actual environment that's changing is the physical environment, perhaps not even sea level. This is what we get. This is what we get. And Canadians are looking forward to an election. Of course, they're trying to postpone that as long as possible. The next one is scheduled for 2025. Everybody's got bets. When's the next election going to happen? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. Do you think that there will be an election triggered, or do you think Justin Trudeau is going to find a way to squeeze out every last moment and get to that 2025 goal before the Canadians vote him out? Let me know in the comments. We'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.